tough for Mexico as they try to make the step up and come into the regular play on the IRB 7 circuit. When you come to Hong Kong, the competition is hot, and the Tongans, well, they've had pretty good time here. They had that very close game yesterday with Scotland, and then today with Samoa, but 2 losses, sadly for them. This is their team. Jack Ram is good forward, plays with Hafoka and strong runner. Saisoa Palai is good too, but they've lost Etueti Siua. He's down there in the lower lettering, which signals that he's either going to be a run-on player or in fact is injured. He went off in the previous game. Siua Taumalolo is the coach of Tonga, and Simon Pierre is the coach of Mexico. He's actually a New Zealander from the southern part of the South Island, from Dunedin, which is south of Christchurch as we look at the Mexico team. And word here for Christchurch people who have suffered, according to the news reports we're hearing here, 4 more earthquakes this afternoon and early evening in New Zealand of a magnitude up to 3.8. So Christchurch still shaking, and the Christchurch situation, and from the floods in Australia and the tsunami and earthquake in Japan, very much in the thoughts of all the people here watching the Hong Kong Sevens in 2011. James Matthew from Scotland is the referee for this one. So Mexico have had a tough time here as we look in at Apakatoa from Tonga. They lost 61-0 to Samoa and then lost 40-7 to Scotland. Whangatapu Apakatoa kicks off for Tonga in the red against Mexico. Straight away, one of the Mexican players is pushed out of the way, Pascal Nodod. And here's a chance for Mexico to be the first players in this game. Santiago Loborero. And now number 7 is Miguel Carnier. Nice run here by Mauricio Rios. And there is number 6, Christian Enning. He was the try scorer for them in their match earlier today against Scotland, which is their first point scored here in Hong Kong. This is their first visit. It's a wonderful achievement really for the organisers here to have Mexico here, but here comes Tonga. They weren't back 10 metres, but it's not going to worry them because Samisoni Hafoka has scored the try. He's having a pretty good tournament and series. Samisoni Hafoka is just 22 years of age. He made his beginnings on the tour this year, and he got a nice pass there from Apakatoa and went around his opposite marker and scored it. I was mentioning the great tribute that should be paid to the organisers here in Hong Kong. The tournament's been running for 35 years, since 1976, and they've had 48 countries. Now Mexico is the 49th nation to appear here, so that's a wonderful record of the move. In many ways Hong Kong led the movement to make sevens a more global game, and look what's happened in the years since those modest beginnings, when many of the teams which came here were invitation teams. They've made tremendous strides, and it's due to the popularity and the crowds filling the stadiums over the years here in Hong Kong that the event is now recognized for inclusion in the Olympic Games. Simon Pierre there on the right in the green Mexico t-shirt is of New Zealand extraction from McAndrew Bay, and he was in Auckland for a long time, and he's been there in Mexico for 2 or 3 years now, making it its home, and they're using his rugby Talent as so many of the nations do around the world. Very nice run coming in here by Vaumong. Nice passing by this rejuvenated looking Tongan team. Haufoka makes the pass to Joseph Louis, and the speediest man is in. So it looks like it might be a tough afternoon for Mexico in this one as well. Joseph Louis has scored. He's just 20 years of age. And he's got very nice balance and speed when he runs, and he's scored the try. Conversion is taken by Apikatoa. He's had a bit of time playing in England as Apikatoa, but this is the try scorer, Louis. And there's Apikatoa, who's played in the north of England in England for Coventry. His football team, Coventry City, is heading towards the bottom of the Championship League over there. Some of their big fans of Coventry City will be very disappointed. And pushing away this time is Fisilau. Haufoka. Oh, did he get it down? Let's have a look. The referee's going to check. Yes, enough was made in the touchdown. You don't have to worry about downward pressure, as so many people think and say. The try scored by Samisoni Haufoka. It just has to be a touch of the hand, the ball on the ground at the same time. So let's look at this. Here is Haufoka with the ball now, going wide. And let's look at it again. Yes, well taken. Good call by the little committee that is formed by the assistant referees. So that's another try for Haufoka. 15 points to nil. The goal kicking not so good here for Tonga. Mexico are here for their 5th tournament on the IRB scene, and the kind of scoring regularity against them you're seeing here has been tough for them to take. There's a pass that's gone the way of Luis Fernando Herrejon. There is Luis Fernando Herrejon. It's a 20-year-old from the Black Thunder Rugby Club. There are some beautiful names for rugby clubs around the world. Missing far too many tackles. The Mexican players, mind you, the Tongans are very aggressive. And here's a nice work by Pele, and now further nice work by Sione Vaumong. Sione Vaumong. So he's a 21-year-old who plays in the 15-a-side game as a hooker. So he's always on hand for that little in pass. And over he goes. It's his first tournament. So Sione Vaumong has scored the try. $22 points to nil. One-way traffic. Mentioning that difficulty that Mexico has in making the step up to the IRB tournament. They've played 4 tournaments, 22 games played, and they've lost 21. They've only scored 33 points and had over 1,000 points against them. So they could be classed as the minnows. They're up against it here too against Tonga, who lead 22-0 at halftime. Blew his whistle as that prayer was taking place and said, come on, let's get on with the game. And the Mexican players were well back in position. I think they might have been entitled to kick off if they got back and ready to go. So we are ready to go now. And it's Miguel Caner who's going to kick off for Mexico. against Tonga, and they're playing uphill, aren't they, with a score like that? But well controlled early on by Mexico. Here's Caner, Miguel Caner. You can see he's trying to find a way through. Here goes Bermudez. This is nice from Mexico. Pascal Nadod. Now they've got a nice shape out here to the right, but they've turned it back inside with Miguel Caner. Now it's trouble for Mexico because the Tongans have a lot of talent. They've got good speed out wide. They've got very strong, aggressive attitude. Look at this. It's already got a couple of tries. Very good run by Haupoka. The tackler was Henning. Here they come again. Tonga with Joseph Louis. Wide to Pele. And here's Jack Ram near the corner. And he's got it back. Try scored. The referee went to the left. Try scored by Sosaya Pele. But referee James Matthew was able to turn and look back and see the touchdown had been made properly. Sosaya Pele. There's Louis. Way to Pele. Then Ram was held up. So the referee dashed to his left to get a look and was able to look back and see a clear passage for Sosaya Pele. And that's try number 4. And the conversion is over. 29-0. Tongan team kind of rejuvenated this year with a completely new look under coach Taumalolo, and they've competed vigorously in all of their games, and none more so than perhaps than the previous game today against their neighbours Samoa, which when they scored twice in the first minute of the game looked like they might scramble a victory. Now that might be a yellow card there against the number 8 Sosaya Pele, because he threw with a foot trip.
Stand up, please.
He looks very disappointed here. Or is he injured? He's fallen down. The referee wants him to get up, because when he gets up, he's going to present a card to him. We can see the referee holding the card pack. Was it a yellow or was it a red? It was a kind of a hip throw.
Right now. Okay.
It's going to be a sin bin. We've heard it here, and there it is.
Tackle with the legs.
Yes, we could see that he used the swinging leg to cut away the run. Here it comes again. Now have a look and see how he does it. But don't do it yourself, kids. See, takes his legs out. That's dangerous play. And he's gone to the bin. Now, he went to the bin in the previous game as well. I don't know whether that will count as a suspension of some kind against him or a hearing. But meantime, here's Mexico, picked up now by Maunga.
4 weights away.
It's Maunga making a nice offload there. Penalty advantage. Running it nicely is Apicatoa out left to Fisilau. And I see a Fisilau. I think this is his first touch of the ball in the game. And he gets try number 6 for Tonga in this one. So he's pretty pleased to be a try scorer in an IRB game. That's his first one. He's not quite the youngster that some of the other new guys are. He's 26. But he was in good position here, Fisilau, and away he went, and then brought it around for an easier conversion attempt. Try was converted. It's 36-0. There's a very high kickoff. That's one of the highest I think we've seen here, but well taken. by Nadod from Mexico. Great to have them here in Hong Kong. They're finding the gap in the competitiveness is pretty tough for them, but they're willing and they're giving it a go, and let's see them again in Las Vegas and maybe here on other invitations. And there's perhaps a little example of their inexperience. A nice run taken by Alejandro Chavez, who's off the bench, and it's over the touchline. So there's a disappointed man on the sideline, Susaya Pele, and the very quick Etuati Siua has come on off the bench to take his role in the game. That's him, number 6. And the Sin Pin player is also back on. I don't know if the referee realizes he's back on, but the referee, of course, has the earplug connection to the people on the sideline. The referee's a new man to the IRB Sevens tour, James Matthew. He's a Scotsman. Less than 2 minutes to play in this one. Will we see some more from Tonga? Another change from the Tongans. Paula Kata is coming on. Paula Kata. This is his debut tournament. He's been a player for Tonga in the Pacific Nations international tournaments. Tonga inside the last 2 minutes. Hard running here by a man called Fonua Tonga. It's how he lives up to his country's name, by running in for a try. They're coming pretty regularly now. There he is. Fonua Tonga has scored. And if you think that's quite rare in rugby, well, it is, to have a player with a surname the same as his country. Always remember Ken Scotland, a very fine player, but of course he was a Scottish representative. And Cecil Africa here for South Africa. So the points coming thick and fast now for Tonga. Will there be a chance for one more? Tamalolo must be thinking back to the unfortunate narrow loss to Samoa in that bruising match they had earlier today. The big collisions there were such that players were left after some of the hits just splayed out on the ground, lying flat on their backs and knocked out. But these guys are so tough, these Pacific Islanders. They got up, shook their heads and played on in each case. Just seconds to go. This is a maul. There might be a call for a scrum, and maybe there's time to have it. It was going to be a scrum. They thought it was a free kick. The referee's in charge now. They might play this last move. They are. It's a very definite win to Tonga over Mexico. The Tongans have brought a pretty aggressive team here, so they might do well. As we have our last look at Jack Ram here. Remember yesterday, if you were watching, he had his gold chain around his neck, a chain around his neck with a cross on it, which is of course not really permitted. Now cameras picked that up, but it's not in sight today. Reminded me of the time that the great Irish international Keith Wood came onto the field against the All Blacks, played the first 5 minutes with his wristwatch on, and took it off and handed it to the referee, who played it, put it in his pocket. So this is referee's time here now. A loose ball, and this could be the end. It is. Referee James Matthew from Scotland ends it. And well, Tonga's, they kind of faded out towards the end of the game, but they had many good moments. They racked up the tries, 7 of them in all, and with conversions they had a very good win over Mexico by 41 points to 0. It's the first win by Tonga at the Hong Kong 7.